G'day everyone, and welcome to the channel. Today, we're going on a journey through time, exploring 15 super rare photographs that have shaped history. Number 1. The beginning of photography. The first impression. Our adventure kicks off nearly 2 centuries ago with the first ever photograph. Taken in 1826 or 1827 by Nicephore Niepce, this image, called View from the Window at Le Gras, marks humanity's first attempt at capturing reality in a permanent form. In this photo, you can make out a rural landscape with rustic buildings, an imperfect and blurry image by today's standards, but a revolutionary breakthrough at the time. Using a technique called heliography, Niepce left an unforgettable mark on the history of art and science. Understanding the patience and courage of those early days makes us appreciate modern photography as a tribute to the pioneers who started it all. Number 2. Napoleon's Lost Portrait, the Man and the Power. Jumping into European history, we find a rare black and white portrait from Napoleon's era. While official images of Napoleon are legendary, this photograph, discovered in a dusty archive, offers a different look at the leader. It captures Napoleon in a moment of reflection, away from the grandeur of his throne, appearing almost human and vulnerable. Historians debate its authenticity, but what's undeniable is the emotional power of the image, a chance to see beyond the icon of power and glimpse the complexity of a man who shaped European history. Number 3. The Secret Test Flight, the Wright brothers in action. Now, let's rewind to the dawn of aviation. We all know the story of the Wright brothers and their historic 1903 flight, but few people know about a secret photograph taken during an informal, experimental moment. This rarely seen image captures them testing early models and mentally preparing for the flight that would change transportation forever. The details, the determination on their faces, the measuring instruments, and the makeshift runway in the background tell a story of boldness and innovation, reminding us how risk and courage have always driven human progress. Number 4. Glimpses of October, the Russian Revolution in pictures. 1917 was a year of massive upheaval, and the October Revolution changed Russia forever. In this rare photo, a group of revolutionaries gathers around a makeshift radio, symbolizing the spread of ideas and the will for change. Found in an old state archive, the image is striking for its authenticity. There's no polished propaganda, just a raw and real portrait of men and women ready to change their nation's destiny. Their faces show determination and hope, key elements that made the revolution a defining moment in world history. Number 5. Life on the Edge, the Victorian slums. Moving across Europe, we find a photo taken in a poor neighbourhood during the Victorian era. It captures a narrow, crowded street lit by gas lamps, where daily life is intertwined with struggle and hope. Recovered from an old photo album, this image documents harsh living conditions, but also the resilience of the people. Women and children dominate the scene, a mother guiding her kids, a street vendor arranging his goods. This photo stands as a social record, an instant in time that tells of an era when industrial progress hadn't yet improved life for everyone. Number 6. The era of vintage cars, the race that made history. As modernity arrived, the love for car racing sparked legendary competitions. In this rare photograph, we see a vintage car race with sleek, elegant vehicles that look like mechanical artworks. Taken in the 1920s, the image captures the moment's speed and beauty merged. The drivers, dressed in stylish outfits and early helmets, radiate determination. This isn't just a record of early motorsport, but a tribute to the creative and innovative spirit of the time. Number 7. Families in wartime, the face of World War II. During World War II, hardship touched every part of daily life. This rarely seen photo shows a family trying to maintain some sense of normality despite destruction and fear. Captured in a small European town, it's a silent but powerful testimony to human resilience. A mother holding her child, a father lost in thought, and children looking toward the future with hope. Every detail tells a story of pain, but also of strength and renewal. The image becomes a universal symbol of how people endure even in the darkest times. Number 8. The final train ride. The legend of the steam locomotive. Among historical images, a photograph of an old steam train racing down rusty tracks holds a special charm. Taken in the 1930s, it captures the final journey of a locomotive that once defined transportation. With steam billowing into the grey sky, the train symbolises the transition from one era to another. The faded image still carries a romantic and melancholic aura, telling the story of a time when trains were symbols of progress and adventure, before modern transport took over. Number 9. Secret meetings, the mystery of hidden politics. One of the most enigmatic photos in history captures a secret political meeting during a time of uncertainty and transition. Discovered in an old archive, it shows men in elegant suits gathered around a dimly lit table. Their focused and often worried expressions hint at crucial decisions shaping a nation's fate. While historians debate their identities, the image remains a symbol of power and the secrecy that often surrounds pivotal political moments. Number 10. Cold War shadows, the anti-nuclear protest. Fast-forwarding to the post-war era, we find a photograph capturing the spirit of anti-nuclear protests. Taken in the 1980s, it shows a crowd gathered in a public square, holding banners and signs demanding peace and disarmament. The soft lighting and black and white contrast heighten the tension and determination on their faces. Often overshadowed by mainstream media, this image is a powerful visual record of ordinary people standing against global threats, where every call for peace was a spark of hope. Number 11. The face of change, a symbol of resilience. One of the most powerful images is that of a face marked by hardship but filled with determination, an emblem of resilience. Captured during a time of social and political unrest, this photograph portrays an ordinary citizen whose eyes and expression embody the spirit of change. The intensity of the gaze and the light partially illuminating the face tell a story of struggle, suffering, and ultimately hope. It's an image that transcends time, speaking directly to anyone who has ever fought for an idea or a right. Number 12. Tracing industrial progress, the factory in motion. The industrial boom not only brought technological innovations, but also transformed urban landscapes with factories working around the clock. This early 1900s photograph captures the heart of a bustling factory in full swing. The contrast between the moving machinery and the tireless workers immerses us in an era of radical transformations. The long shadows, the textures of metal surfaces, and the filtered light from large industrial windows create an almost surreal atmosphere, marking the transition from a handcrafted world to one dominated by mechanization and technological advancement. Number 13. The silence of memory, the abandoned road. Not all historical photographs depict grand events or epic battles. Some simply speak of time passing and places evolving. This image captures a deserted road in a small town, left abandoned after economic collapse or a natural disaster. The scarred walls, broken windows, and overwhelming silence invite us to reflect on the cycle of urban life. It's a snapshot of what remains, a silent reminder not to forget the past, for every ruin carries the weight of a story that has shaped our present. Number 14. The last goodbye. Farewell in times of conflict. In times of war, the pain of goodbyes becomes an integral part of collective memory. This photograph, taken during a lesser-known yet deeply emotional conflict, captures a moment of farewell between soldiers and their families. The image is intense, an embrace, a gaze filled with both sorrow and pride, and a backdrop hinting at the imminence of a dangerous journey. It's a photo that reminds us of how personal sacrifice is often intertwined with a greater fate, and how, even in moments of separation, love and family bonds remain unbroken. Number 15. Rebirth, a city awakens. We conclude our journey with a photograph symbolizing rebirth. After a period of crisis and destruction, this image captures the moment when a community rises again, rediscovering its identity. Taken in a post-war setting, the photo shows citizens rebuilding their city, surrounded by rubble yet filled with renewed hope. Even in black and white, the colours seem to radiate optimism. It's the image of a people who refuse to give up, who find strength in unity, and who look toward the future with determination. A universal message that reminds us that even after the fiercest storms, the light always finds a way through. And so, we reach the end of this journey through time, exploring rare and meaningful images. Each photograph we've seen today has told us a story, a fragment of reality that helps us better understand both the past and, in some way, the present. The beauty of historical photography lies in its ability to bring emotions, contexts, and experiences back to life.